We just hit 10,000 subscribers a week ago, and I'm really happy that we hit this milestone because it has been my long-term goal for like the past 1.5 years. First, I didn't even think about a goal like that because it seemed unobtainable. That's like eating 10,000 shrimps. If you are on my Discord, by the way, the link is in the description, I asked people for questions so I can make a Q&A for the 10K celebration video. At least I thought maybe some people want to know anything about me or Japan or anything else. So this is a totally normal Q&A video. Totally normal. Let's answer some questions.
Do you plan to visit Japan anytime soon after the pandemic again?
Yes, next year in summer for 3 months or at least as long as we can. That's the plan. Just live there for a while and make YouTube videos as much as I can about stuff I see, because before, when I went there, I didn't really travel. I stayed stationary in Fukuoka and just in Kyushu in the south of Japan most of the time. So this time I really want to travel all over Japan and see the north, the middle of Japan, and also the south again, just to, you know, I don't know, just get a whole picture of Japan, which I've never done.
What was the one thing you didn't know about Japan before going there?
The one thing I didn't know about Japan before going there. Okay, the one thing I didn't know about Japan before going there was that they have amazing bakeries. I love the bakeries in Japan. It's one thing that I missed the most about Japan. I don't think many people know this, but it's really one thing that I love about Japan. Their bakeries are amazing. They're just convenient as hell, and you can get really delicious like bakeries with a lot of cheese in them. I mean, I love cheese, and you just get a big variety of breads and sweets that you really don't get anywhere else. Hello, it's me.
Kawaii.
I'd like to speak to the manager, please.
What other languages can you speak?
I speak German because that is my maternal language, so Swiss German. If you want to count them as 2 languages, I don't know, but normal German and Swiss German are not really the same language. Let's count them as 2 languages. Swiss German and German. Then French I have learned in school, so I understand some French. I understand some Spanish. I learned that as well in school.
Oh my god.
And I speak Romanian because that is my heritage, so my parents are Romanian. I speak Japanese, as you might actually know, and I speak English, as I'm doing right now.
How many shrimps do you have to eat before you make your skin turn pink?
How many shrimps? 10,000 shrimps! What is that question, though?
Won't you ask?
Of course. It's 10,000 shrimps, if you didn't know. I actually tried it out. That's why I'm so pink.
How can you be this handsome?
It's all about the jeans. So these jeans, I got them from H&M. They make me look so handsome. Like,
How would you rate your Japanese on a scale of 1 to 10?
we have to like divide this into the different kinds of Japanese, because in my opinion, like spoken Japanese, written Japanese, and reading Japanese are just 3 different kinds of beasts. Because my speaking Japanese is like a 6 out of 10, I think, or maybe close to a 7 out of 10. But my reading and my writing are like a 1 out of 10. So I can read Japanese as long as I know the kanji. If I don't, then I can't. And I cannot write at all because I actually learned it in school when I went to Japan, but then I just didn't do it anymore for 2 or even more years, and now I just can't write. So
Oh, you're supposed to tie a tie, but I don't know how to tie a tie.
it's fine. This actually looks really good, I think. Maybe. Oh, that's actually the way to do it.
What's your favorite anime?
My favorite anime. I think it's Naruto. Maybe that's a very controversial topic, and not many people would say that, but I think it's Naruto. So it has been my all-time favorite when I was a child, so I think it still is. I have a lot of favorite anime besides Naruto, but Naruto is definitely up there.
What's your favorite current anime then?
My favorite current anime. One I've really enjoyed is the slime anime. So I've got reincarnated into a slime. It's just one I watched recently and I really liked it. So.
How many kanji should I learn per day? Is 10 a day good or not enough?
10 a day is actually really difficult to do consistently, I think. Because if you do 10 a day, let's say you start with 10 on Monday, then you do 10 on Tuesday, then on Wednesday you have to repeat the 20 you already learned so you don't forget them, but then you also have to learn 10 new ones. And then this just exponentially increases. So I don't think 10 a day is really realistic for like doing all the kanji in succession, because you have to do 2,100 kanji. You could do some math, and if you do this with repetition every 2 days for the ones you've learned before, you will have an amount, like an impossible amount to actually repeat and study at the end of this. So I wouldn't really recommend doing this. If you want to like do it with a fixed amount per day, I would do 10 every 3, or if you're confident, every 2 days. So you have at least 1 day of repetition after the day you've studied, that you can repeat the ones you learned like 2 or 3 or 4 days ago.
What's your favorite non-Japanese food? Kawaii!
Yes, I'm such kawaii. My favorite non-Japanese food is sarmale. It's a Romanian dish that I really like. And here's a picture of it because I don't know how to describe it. But it has meat inside, or you can also have them in vegetarian form with rice inside or other ingredients. It's really good. You should definitely try it. A lot of different cultures also have these, or a similar dish like this one. So maybe your culture has one as well. If they do, tell me in the comments. I'm really curious to see if your country makes something similar. Switzerland also has a very similar dish called Kapunz, and many other countries that I know of also have similar dishes. They all think it's their dish, so there's a big debate which one is the best.
Which language would you like to learn next?
Korean.
Wow.
Why? Because it's really similar to Japanese, so it's actually quite easy to learn. Yeah, the grammar is so similar, besides a few exceptions, of course. The writing system is really easy to learn. You can learn it in an hour if you study well. And I've actually started studying it a little bit with Duolingo and stuff like that, but I've never gotten far because I just didn't have the time. But it's definitely on my bucket list.
After how much time were you able to understand native material like songs, mangas, etc.?
Well, I tried reading Yotsubato numerous times when I started out learning. So before I even went to Japan, I tried reading it. Oh my god, these are heavy. Oh my god. So much hair. How do people live with long hair like this? How? I don't get it.
For the thumbnail. Oh my god, why does it look good?
Does this look good on me? If you think so, or if you don't think so, tell me in the comments. And also tell me what's the next cosplay I should do at 20k subs. As I said, I started reading Yotsubato, or at least tried reading Yotsubato before I went to Japan, because I was studying like a few months, just trying with the Genki textbook to get to find my way around the grammar, but I didn't really understand anything inside that manga when I started out. And then after 2 or 3 months in Japan, so after I went there and I studied Japanese very thoroughly, I started reading it again, or I tried at least, and it still didn't really work. So I think it took me at least 5 months to get comfortable with the language enough to really be able to understand what written Japanese was trying to tell me, because especially mangas, for example, they are very colloquial at times. So it's really hard to understand what people are saying if you only studied the material which teaches you polite Japanese, or really like the standard way to talk in Japanese. So the way colloquial like Japanese people, or the way native Japanese people talk when they talk in a casual form, isn't the way like that textbooks like tell you about, right? So it took me a long time living there and talking with actual Japanese people to find all these forms from them, because I never learned them in school. I never learned them from any textbooks. It really took me real life experience to be able to understand mangas. And the other way, like understanding Japanese people from my like listening comprehension, took me way less. So it took me like 1 month to really get comfortable with the language and understand what people were saying. But responding took me a little bit longer, so maybe 2 months to really be able to talk fluently with people, of being there, right? So it's not 2 months of studying at home alone without conversation. It's really been a process of talking a lot and listening a lot to actual Japanese people talking. So I really recommend talking to people as much as you can. By the way, there is a Discord that I made, and that is full of people learning Japanese, and they want to talk to people as much as possible on voice chat and on written Japanese as well. So join that Discord, link is in the description.
How do you maintain your beard?
My beard is like that by nature, if you believe it or not. I have to shave it, but that's about it. I have a skincare routine that I do every day for my skin. So I also do this on my beard. So this washes it a little bit, right? So the skincare washes my beard as well. But I don't have anything special for my beard. The only thing I do is I trim it every second or every third day. And I trim it down here so that it doesn't like show my my double chin. I just shave.
Okay. What inspired you to start a YouTube channel?
What inspired me? Actually, there is a bit of a story behind this because I actually wanted to talk about this before, but I never did. Of course, one reason was that I wanted to teach Japanese in order for myself to also practice the Japanese again. But my main reason was an inspiration that I had, or at least a few inspirations that I had while like growing up. I watched a lot of YouTube, and when I got like to the last year in high school or even after high school, I found a few channels from gaijins that lived in Japan. And I was really fascinated by how they were showing their life there and how they were talking about their experiences of studying Japanese. And this really inspired me to at least share my progress with the world a little bit. And this just spiraled down into this channel. Like this desire of, after learning Japanese, making YouTube videos about it really got me into it, I guess. And a few like channels that really inspired me are Eric Abroad, and another one is Moments with Nick. He is a Swiss guy actually, and he inspired me the most, I think. He had like 2,000 subscribers, and at the time this was immensely, like, it was so much for me, right? And I texted this guy on the YouTube texting app that existed back there. You could actually have a chat with someone on YouTube. And I texted him and I asked him, like, how did you study Japanese? How did you get there? Because he was living in Japan and sharing his experience. And it really motivated me as well to go there and actually learn the language. And also, of course, the standard people like Abroad in Japan, the Anime Man and Aki Dearest and all those people, Connor from Sea-Dog VA, and Garnt, the Trash Taste crew, and all of these people really inspired me to really get into YouTube. And yeah, that's why I'm here now. Jupus from the Discord asked, "Ichiban suki na Nihongo no kotoba wa?" That means, which one is your favorite Japanese word? I have a few actually. I have a few favorite Japanese words. One is Jidou Hanbaiki. That means vending machine. Another one is Shunkan Ido. That means teleportation. And the third one is Renkin Jutsushi. Renkin Jutsushi. It's really hard to pronounce, but that means, I think, alchemist.
What's your go-to Japanese meal when you are hungry in Japan?
I think it's actually either tonkatsu. Tonkatsu is peak, but I cannot eat it every day. And I think the one I could eat every day, and actually have eaten every day while being there, is gyudon. So that is basically meat like beef on rice with onion and amazing sauce with tsuyu. And yeah, if you go to Yoshinoya or all these other restaurants that sound the same, you'll definitely have to try gyudon because it's really cheap, it's really good, and it fills up quite nicely.
Do you recommend any studying methods to help me better understand?
Understanding something, in my vocabulary, or at least from where I stand, is definitely like having a good explanation. Because every person understands something differently usually. So either you understand something or you don't, right? So you have to find a person or a textbook or a blog or anything, any resource that explains it to you in the best way possible. And I think this is not something that you can really tailor to everyone. It's something that you have to look for and really find just a resource that you understand best. So if you want to understand grammar, I can definitely put some resources down in the description below. You can check them out and just see which one is best for you. And I can also put some down there for like other stuff like kanji and vocabulary. But I think understanding problems is most with grammar. So I'll definitely look up some grammar stuff and I'll put them down in the description for you.
You watch a lot of anime, and did you watch JoJo's Bizarre Adventure? Oh my god, I said.
Yeah. My dad is outside on the balcony and he doesn't know that we're filming this. I did not watch JoJo. This might come as a surprise, but I started it multiple times and I never went through with it because I don't like the first few episodes. But I know that the first season is something you have to get through to really get to the good and juicy stuff. So I will definitely do this summer. That's my goal for this summer, and I will try to watch JoJo. But I do watch a lot of anime when I have time. I also watch a lot of Japanese drama, so TV series. I think I watch these more than I watch Japanese animated shows.
When you haven't been yet to Nihon, what made you love Japan besides anime?
Oh, okay. I think that's a fair question. So what I liked about Japan before actually being there? Well, first of all, I had an image of Japan, right? And it was really inspired by anime and YouTube. But first, my first impression about Japan was from anime and mangas. And there my interest was sparked. But other than that, I saw really good food. I have tried really good food here in Switzerland that really inspired me to go there, at least to try the good food from there. Because sushi and other Japanese food from here, like ramen, was so good, I had to try it there as well, right? Other than that, just watching YouTubers being there and showing the amazing sceneries, nature, people talking in Japanese, people talking about Japan. All of this together made me really interested in Japan, and I just went there after researching everything about it. So I think my first interest was sparked by manga, but then it just spiraled into a lot of other media that I watched about Japan.
Okay, let's come to the last one.
Last question? Last question of the day.
Who is your favorite fan?
My favorite fan? I don't want to answer that. That's not fair. I don't really have a favorite fan, but I can mention a few, but I don't want to do that. But the Discord people know who they are, and they know that I appreciate every single one of them. And I've had close contact with a few of them since the beginning since they joined the Discord, and it's been really fun we haven't really done anything lately, but it's been really fun just interacting with them also over audio and playing games with them and stuff like that. So if you're in the Discord, you know who you are. I hope this was satisfactory to at least some of you and maybe you learned something new about me. And yeah, thanks again for the 10,000 subscribers, and I hope you look forward to a lot more videos about Japan, Japanese, and me.
Hatsune Miku met zijn eigen voor drinks.
Bag, bag, baka, 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 baka. Baka, baka.